especially like her, who mess up and just won't say, I dropped the ball. Like, I just wasn't good at this. I wasn't good at navigating relationships. I wasn't good at picking. They always try to make it seem like now I need to align with chakras and spirituality. And I need to isolate myself and fortify myself to be ready. Chick, if you're not ready, in my opinion, at this point, you're just not, that's not important to you. And her speech and her actions coincide with that. She's showing Melissa is important. Decentering men is also important. She does not want to be in a relationship. She never has spoken about it positively. So I think her mic needs to be silenced because she continues to spew the same thing and giving it to women like it's an okay idea. I don't think so.
Yes, but I also let them know to be aware. Just like right now, I'm aware. I wouldn't walk in here with my own shooter if I wasn't aware. You know what I'm saying? So that's just the mentality you have to have. It's the reason we have life insurance. Like, you know, you have to be prepared. You don't want these things to happen. And you're not even expecting these things to happen. You're just, I guess, prepared if they do. But imagine if we had to wake up every day and just not trust anybody.
I mean, that would be really isolating. But
you're kind of doing that with the men.
No.
You started it off by saying, fuck niggas, get money. That's basically what you said. You was like, I don't want to be with nobody.
No, it's not that. I'll be completely honest. It has nothing to do with me not wanting to be with anybody right now at this particular stage in my life because of this massive career transition and spiritual transition. I'm having what I now understand as a spiritual awakening. And it has been so powerful that I don't think anybody needs to be there at this moment. I need to be here with myself and integrating everything that I've learned, you know, in a very short amount of time, especially at the retreat that I went to in Mexico. I'm at a point in my life where so much new information is being downloaded from source. I don't have anything to give to anybody right now because I'm still receiving.
I understand.
And that's literally it. Like, do I have hope or a belief that there's the imperfectly perfect one out there for me? The source knows. I don't. I trust that they've got my best interests. But I don't think that I put a whole lot of importance on that. And I'll tell you why. I think that after a certain age, read perimenopause, women start to really take stock of their life. And I think also in this decade of life, the 40s, you really start to think about the meaning of life and also how meaningful your life is. And changes that you want to make, because also you're thinking about legacy and, you know, and just what impact or what what mark you want to leave on people, the world, whatever the case is. But I think what also happens to women at this point in time, because we are conditioned to be such people pleasers, and conditioned to center men. Everything else about our lives is accessory. The goal is to get a man, get claimed by a man. And by the time you hit this decade of life, women start looking around and be like, what did that get me? And not to say that there's not women who are like in very happy relationships and happy marriages and stuff like that. I'm pushing that aside. Let's just say that you're in my particular situation, or let's just say that you've been in a long-term marriage and haven't been happy for a really, really long time, and you think that the best thing would be to split apart. Women are in this decade, we start to really kind of analyze, what does life look like when we decenter men? And I want men to understand that that does not mean that we don't love you or want to have you in our lives, but it's just this, it's radical self-acceptance. And the world and society teaches women to never accept yourself, that there's always room for improvement. That's why the self-help section of bookstores are mainly geared towards us. For you guys, it's get rich, get fit, for the most part.
She said earlier that she was in a space full of misogynistic men and it can kind of bleed over. And I was wondering, from a female perspective, if you're going to be around men, how much protection is reasonable? in regards to these conversations, because like that was a pretty popular show that she was on, right? And I saw how she probably didn't get her full thoughts off, or she like um that she was being silenced to some degree because she wouldn't feel comfortable speaking. And I seen women kind of be on panels feel that same way, where they don't feel comfortable getting all their shit off. But it's a weird place to be in, because you don't want to hinder the conversation by jumping in, like, hey, don't say that to so and so, because chance to defend themselves and argue they thought out, because they're not actually getting hands put on them. But and how much of that is what she's assigning to men being terrible people? Just them conversations versus like actual, you know what I'm saying? Does it make sense what I'm saying, True? You get where I'm going with this?
I picked up the first part when you were talking about maybe being overshadowed by the masculinity, because I know she was on the Joe Budden podcast or something, right? Like she was a host.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I know. I definitely get that.
Yeah, that's a pretty popular podcast.
Yeah. Now, most of the time when she was talking, Melissa Ford just proved to me that she's not good at multitasking. That's the basis of what I gathered. She tried to sound, in my opinion, edified, elevated, but yo, nah, I don't get this narrative that, and I'm not a woman, so forgive me. I don't believe there's a time. I think pursuit, you attract. And it's like, if you want to get fit, you'll get fit. If you want to find a home, you're going to look at Zillow and, you know, all those different things. If you want a relationship, it is literally the same thing. So this idea that go ahead, Mark.
No, I want to come right after you.
So this idea that I hear a lot, especially like her, who mess up and just won't say, I dropped the ball. Like, I just wasn't good at this. I wasn't good at navigating relationships. I wasn't good at picking. They always try to make it seem like now I need to align with chakras and spirituality, and I need to isolate myself and fortify myself to be ready. Chick, if you not ready, in my opinion, at this point, you're just not. That's not important to you. In her speech, in her actions, coincide with that. She's showing Melissa is important. Decentering men is also important. She does not want to be in a relationship. She never has spoken about it positively. So I think her mic needs to be silenced, because she continues to spew the same thing and giving it to women like it's an okay idea. I don't think so. And I land.
So how much of that do you think is you? All right, so you know there's certain situations that some people will never be in, right? Like you will never find yourself in a gang shootout, right? It's just certain things you'll see that shit coming a mile away and avoid people that do certain things. So you'll be so the men that she possibly could have great relationships, she might be signaling things that they can see from a mile away and be like, you know what, I'm gonna pass on that. You live a lifestyle that's not conducive to anything. So she'll never be in a situation, or it's rare she would be in a situation with the men that she would actually have the positive relationships with to grow through. Because thinking back on being a man in your 20s, 30s, and your girlfriend is a video vixen and she getting paid hundreds or thousands of dollars to go get naked for rappers, I don't see a man really flocking to that. No matter how attractive or cool she is, most men will have a problem with how you making your money like that. That she would want a long-term relationship. I don't know. I just feel like some of the issues that she may be experiencing, like you said, it's based off not being able to attract the thing that is necessary, based off of how you repel people. And it can be done silently. You don't even know that you're repelling people. And they just picking up on things like, oh yeah, I would never. Like, I'm sure it's things people do, you be like, oh, I would never. They don't know you thinking that, but it instantly repels you, and you give them the stiff arm, men and women. And you like, oh no, I see how your mind works. And the person doesn't what they're doing, that's the problem. And then if somebody does try and tell them they're such a one-off, that they'll just assume that person is hating or don't know what they're talking about. And then they just stuck in that perpetual cycle.
Personally, so a lot of men have a negative reaction when women say decenter men. And I get it. I get why they have the negative reaction, because it's it is how some women think about decentering men. But she's right. When you get to this part of your life, you start to kind of reflect and you start to kind of weigh what's important and what's not important. That's how I came to those conclusions that I was speaking of earlier. A part of my growth was decentering men. And the way I did it, when I'm talking to a man, everything, like, I'll drop what I got going on to help. I'm always like there. He said he need me, I'm there every single time. And in the past, sometimes to the detriment of what I have going on, I'll drop my friends. Like, I won't hang out with them because he wants to hang out with me. And also, once I kind of got older and I saw that my friends were still there, but those men weren't. I have a lot going on with my business and all of the things that I want to do. That's still here. That man is not. So I learned to balance everything and not necessarily make that man the center of everything that's going on. Because I lost a part of who I was in those long-term relationships and in my marriage. So I had to figure out how to balance things and not necessarily say my life is going to be all about me and it's not going to be about no man. It's not that. That man has to be a puzzle piece. He does have to fit in because there are parts of your life that were there before he got there. But you have to make room for that man to fit in your life. Like, you have to make that. But he does not have to be the whole thing, if that makes any sense.
That's why I said, I'm sorry, RJ, go ahead.
No. Go ahead. You can respond. Go ahead.
That's why this not to you, Bo, but thank you, because that gives me further perspective. This what I hear sometimes, my reaction to decentering of men, I hope it didn't come across necessarily like I'm aggravated. I guess I don't understand. Typically, from the perception of being a man, and men on this panel can hopefully confirm or deny, we don't typically look at y'all the same way. We know how to compartmentalize. I know Marcus, that's his word, and that's true. You guys fit in the pursuit, but somehow, some way, what I'm learning is that it just seems like women struggle to like, y'all don't know how to chew gum and walk at the same time. Like, there's something that should be able to occur, that a relationship with a man that you value, love, and is healthy and all those things, right? Your losing self, I don't personally understand that. Your relationships that you decide to place as secondary, I think that's where women are not good at. They decide to reposition what they at one point valued, and now that this man is in the way or in your life, now that's more value. That's not the man's fault. That's your fault. I say it a lot of times that the mighty P's, like, if you put pussy and penis in any equation, things is gonna shift around. That just happens, right? So yeah, it just seems like women aren't good at multitasking. That's what I see. And I think that they do a hard overcorrection. Like you said, my friends was there, but the man ain't there. Well, there should be a skill set to learn how to nurture both, chew gum and walk at the same time. And I like.
Right. So
I think that that's hard to do because the woman has to buy into a man's program. So they're not really able to juggle both those things and fully submit. It's like a conundrum they run into, because if a man wants full submission from you and you want to be with him, you would have to concede some of that, which is what would force you to lose yourself in some sense if it's not the right type of person. Maybe that could be a flag that she's looking for. Does he help maintain relationship outside of him, so I still am centered in a way? But one of the greatest things about women, in my opinion, is their ability to mold and conform to the situation at hand with whatever man they choose to be with or whatever relationship they be with. So I wouldn't penalize them for it too at the same time, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I gather that. I think what typically this is just my take on it, right?